All right, well, for more on this, Ovigwe Egwegu joins us now live from Abuja, and he's a policy advisor at the think tank Development Reimagined. Welcome to the programme. I just want to start by telling you about the comments we're hearing. The Sudan Army chief is saying that there'll be no negotiations until the RSF retreats. What does that mean, given the context of the developments we're seeing?
Yeah, I think it shows the growing confidence of the Sudanese armed forces. Remember, they began a counter-offensive in September last year, and this capturing the presidential palace is very symbolic and also substantive. Symbolic in the sense that it is the capital of, it is the seat of power, and substantive because it's a major gain since that counter-offensive, and it's going to actually give it a vantage position to continue to push the RSF out of Sudan. So they're very confident. I think that's why they're making such statements. And
what do you think is going to happen? How do you think the RSF are going to react to the Sudanese army takeover of the presidential palace? Will there be revenge attacks? We saw that 3 journalists that were working for the state television were killed today in drone attacks.
Yes, at this point, the RSF is on the back foot, and they, of course, are going to try to dig in and try to prevent them being kicked out of Khartoum, because that is going to be a major operational loss for them, because the RSF knows that diplomatically and politically is actually in a much weaker position than it was when just after the conflict began. At that point, it had a lot of initiative. But right now, very recently they set up a government in exile, and they still control a vast part of the country in Darfur, which is their stronghold. So there is a lot that is still at stake. But militarily, the Sudanese armed forces, they have the initiative now, and I see them continuing to make those gains militarily. And as they do that, the political pressure and as well as the military pressure will be building up, building in their favor against the RSF.
And just for people following the day-to-day of what's been happening in Sudan, of course, this is being called a symbolic victory in Sudan. Why is that, and where does this go next for both?
Yeah, like I said, this is the seat of power. So, as a Sudanese friend of mine told me recently, if you are a citizen of a country where the state army, which is the Sudanese armed forces, doesn't even control the presidential seat, then it's a question of competence, but also even legitimacy at that point. But now, with the capture of the seat of power, there is a sense of confidence of morale in the minds of the citizens. Mind you, the SAF is not alone. There is, for instance, an alliance network with some other militias like the Revolutionary Battalion, which a few years ago was supportive of the coup against Al-Burhan, the commander of the SAF. But now today they are fighting alongside the SAF because they see the RSF as a bigger evil. So what they want to do now is to continue to build that momentum against the RSF militarily within the country, because the RSF doesn't have that much popularity among the people of Sudan.
Ovigwe, thank you so much for your time and your thoughts on this subject. Ovigwe Egwegu joining us there from Abuja.